just more of my natural self, more of who I really am. In past fights, you guys see me, as a more of a shell of myself, because I was killing myself to make it weight. I feel a lot better, feel a lot stronger, and I'm excited for it.
3 people in the world that I think that could beat Tank. That would be Devin, that would be Shakur, and Tank Davis himself.
You got the last one right. That's the only person that could beat me. Gervonta Davis. That's the only person. Them niggas cannot touch me at all. They all been in the ring with me. They all been in the ring, and I cracked both of them. I mean,
it was you was linked to Tank for so long. It looked like that's never gonna happen, but
yeah, I don't see that fight. I don't see that fight happening. I don't see that fight ever happening. But
Devin Haney is done playing the diplomatic game. After months of speculation, he has returned with a message that shatters the biggest rumor in boxing. He didn't just address the Gervonta Davis fight, he buried it completely. But he didn't stop there. Haney looks bigger, healthier, and more focused than we've ever seen him, and he has officially locked his sights on the only rival that matters now. This isn't just a call-out, it's a declaration of war, and Shakur Stevenson is the target.
Just more of my natural self, more of who I really am. In past fights, you guys see me, as a more of a shell of myself, because I was killing myself to make it weight. I feel a lot better, feel a lot stronger, and I'm excited for it.
who you see as your partner that would be a super fight? Floyd had Manny, Sugar Ray Leonard had Tommy Hearns.
I mean,
you was linked to Tank for so long. It looked like that's never gonna happen, but
yeah, I don't see that fight. I don't see that fight happening. I don't see that fight ever happening. But still, guys like Shakur, still got Ryan Garcia. It's a huge fight. It's a lot of guys coming up. They make a new guy every day. We got Abdullah Mason, we got Kermel. It's young guys coming up, and I see them in the rear view, so I'm proud of it.
Let's get straight to the evidence. Just hours ago, Fight Hype dropped an exclusive interview that changes the entire landscape of boxing. If you've been following Haney, you know he usually speaks in riddles or keeps his options vague. Not today. He looked different, bigger, healthier, and completely dialed in. There was no hesitation when he looked into the camera and dropped the bombshell. Me and Shakur is the next biggest fight.
You versus Dev, is that back on the table as far as us as fans should be talking about this, or is that y'all niggas just doing some Twitter shit?
Nah, I mean, that's cool. Like I told you, I'll fight him. I'll move up to 40 and fight him. Like there's no changing like what I think about that fight. I think that'll be a big fight too in the sport of boxing. And it'll like be a long time coming just because of the history of everything that went on. But I'm not going to 47, so that's why I really asked him what weight.
This wasn't a casual suggestion. It was a confirmation. For the first time, Haney isn't just listing names, he's narrowing the field down to one single obstacle. He admits he sees the young lions coming up in the rear view, guys like Abdullah Mason, but his focus is locked at the top. He looks like a man who is done playing politics and is ready to secure his legacy. The way he said it implies the conversations are already happening behind closed doors. This isn't hype anymore, it's the blueprint for the rest of 2026.
that's truthfully what he's doing, because he's saying that he wants to fight, and he's saying that he's willing to fight Devin Haney. He did an interview on Cigar Talk, said he's open and willing to fight Devin Haney. Devin Haney is an exceptional fighter, but he can't beat him, right? Shakur's saying, but I'll beat him. Devin Haney immediately responds, and he says, you're an exceptional fighter, but 1,000% I'm going to beat you, right? Now, here's the thing. Shakur Stevenson is saying he wants a 10-pound rehydration clause, which would mean Devin Haney can't weigh more than 157 the night of the fight. Is Devin Haney going to concede to that? I doubt it. So there's a major obstacle in the way. But nonetheless, as you watch these two fighters fight, you can clearly see, outside of cheating, they're more than likely not going to lose. right? With that said, Devin Haney immediately responds to Shakur. Shakur responds to Devin, right? Again, we had the initial 4 kings. It was Devin, Ryan, T.O., and Tank Davis.
Now we have to address the elephant in the room because this part of the interview is going to upset a lot of fans. When asked about Tank Davis, Haney didn't just deflect, he shut it down cold. I don't see that fight ever happening. That is a brutal reality check. For a fighter of his caliber to be that candid is rare. It suggests that the behind-the-scenes politics, the network wars, and the ego clashes have reached a point of no return.
I mean,
You was linked to Tank for so long, it looked like that's never gonna happen, but
yeah, I don't see that fight. I don't see that fight happening. I don't see that fight ever happening. But
Is he ducking, or is he just being the smartest businessman in the room? By publicly killing the Tank fight, Haney removes the leverage Tank's team had over him. He's no longer sitting around waiting for a phone call that might never come. He's taking control of his own narrative. It's a controversial move, and social media is already lighting up with accusations. But from a strategic standpoint, it clears the deck. There is no distraction left. There is only Shakur.
So Sean, what about for your brother? He's on commentary duties today and this weekend, but I'm sure he wants to be in the ring as opposed to speaking on the mic like I am. What do you want for him next? I did see Bill put out on social media that there was a phone call between Manny Pacquiao Promotions and that team. Is it possible that Devin could be in the ring with legend Manny Pacquiao?
Yeah, there's definitely a possibility. You know, we're ready for all comers. You know, Devin is he doesn't duck anybody. You know, he's a true old school fighter, ready to take on anybody. You know, like he's ready to take on anybody. Manny Pacquiao, Teofimo, Shakur, Conor Ben, anybody. He's ready to take on anybody. We've had this talk a million times. You know, me and him just in his living room just talking. I'm like, Dev, who do you want to fight? He doesn't matter to him. He wants to fight whoever. He wants to make the biggest fights happen.
You cannot understand why this Haney announcement is happening today without looking at what happened just 5 days ago on January 31st. Shakur Stevenson didn't just beat Teofimo Lopez, he dismantled him. And he didn't do it in an empty arena. Madison Square Garden was packed with 21,324 screaming fans. The narrative that Shakur is boring or can't sell tickets died that night. Haney watched that fight. His father, Bill Haney, was there broadcasting, scouting the enemy. They saw the numbers. They saw the energy. Shakur Stevenson is now a 4-division world champion, and more importantly, he's a verified ticket seller. He doesn't need Haney to fill seats anymore, and that changes the math. Haney knows that Shakur's stock is at an all-time high. If they fight now, it's not just a unification. It's a collision of 2 superstars who have both proven they can carry a main event on their own. This brings us to the money, and this is where things are going to get ugly. Remember the 25% offer? That was the insult heard round the world when Haney tried to lowball Shakur a few years ago. That dynamic is completely gone. You can bet your last dollar that if Haney sends a 25% contract today, it's going straight into the trash.
When you and Devin gonna fight?
Me and Devin is not fighting because of Devin. I want to fight. They offered me less than I made in my last 3 fights. I fought Yoshino, I fought Oscar Valdez, I fought Robson Conceição style. I made more in them fights than what I was offered to fight him.
You get in the ring, you beating Devin Haney?
Can you pay attention to boxing? Look at him and look at me. I'm a way better fighter than him. He's not on my level.
If you know you're a better fighter than him, why not say, you know what, I'm gonna take that to beat your ass and take your whole...
I didn't say no, I went to another direction. I said, okay, I'm gonna enforce the WBC to do their job. So I enforced my mandatory. Once I enforced my mandatory, this man gave up the belt and moved up to 140. Who is ducking who?
The debate raging on forums right now is, who is the A side? Haney has the resume and the undisputed history, but Shakur has the fresh momentum and the massive New York gate. The leverage has shifted. It's no longer about Haney giving Shakur an opportunity, it's about 2 kings meeting in the middle. The lowball days are over. If this fight happens, it's going to be 50-50 or close to it, and that financial reality is what has finally made the fight realistic. Haney knows he has to pay up to get the legacy win. So, how do you pay 2 guys who both think they're the face of boxing? Enter the X Factor, Turki Al-Sheikh and Riyadh Season. We've seen the pattern. When the US promoters can't agree on the money, the Saudis step in with the checkbook. The fans are already speculating that this fight is destined for a Riyadh Season card.
Turkey is making a lot of moves right now. As you know, obviously you on the big card, February 22nd. We spoke about that a little bit. You see a lot of other fighters, Ryan, Dev, all this stuff lining up. And it seems like boxing is, you know, coming back together. How do you feel about Turkey and just like everything that's going on in boxing, all these big fights getting made?
I think Turkey is saving boxing. I think that he's making the biggest and best fights happen. At the end of the day, what he's doing is these fighters gotta drop their nuts. He's making guys going 50-50 fights to where they can lose or they can win. And I'm from the club, like, scared money don't make no money, so I feel like shit, whoever he say he want me to fight, I'm down with that shit.
It makes perfect sense. Both fighters have expensive tastes and massive payrolls. The gate in Vegas or New York might not be enough to satisfy the ego of both teams, but an injection of Saudi cash smooths over every single disagreement. Bill Haney scouting the Teofimo fight wasn't just for fun, it was due diligence. They are running the numbers. The fact that Haney is speaking so confidently about this fight suggests the backers are already lined up. The money is there, the will is there. The only thing left is the signature.
What's the chances we get Devin and Shakur? I mean, Shakur got to dare to be great. He know what Devin at. Then he say, I could go up for the right fight. Isn't he willing to go all the way to 54 for Conor Ben? So there you go. Conor is that much of not on Shakur level that he could go to 54, but Devin is on that level that he hasn't mentioned a weight class for Devin. He know he come over here, I'm like, yo, what's up? Y'all ever gonna fight? Cause y'all ain't make up. You literally stopped talking to your friend over some negotiations, and now y'all not even beefing, and y'all don't even talk about each other to fight. So fuck that. I'm ready to start that fight again. Somebody gotta interview Shakur like, yo, is you ever gonna fight Dev? Now that you on Turkey Al-Sheikh and he's on Turkey Al-Sheikh, you ain't gotta worry about that 25% not being real. Is you gonna ever tell Turkey Al-Sheikh you could beat Devin? You wanna fight Devin? Bruh, you fighting Cepeda. Devin Haney fighting Brian Norman knock your fucking head off Jr. You fighting Padley. You were scheduled to fight Floyd Schofield.
There is one physical detail in today's interview that you might have missed, but it's critical. Haney looks massive. He explicitly said he's done killing himself to make weight. He feels like his natural self again, stronger and sharper. He even dropped a hint that sent rumors flying. Maybe I'll go to 154, you never know.
Still guys like Shakur, still got, Ryan Garcia. It's a huge fight. There's a lot of guys coming up. They make a new guy every day. We got Abdullah Mason, we got Kermel. It's young guys coming up, and I see them in the rear view. So I'm proud of. I don't think that I'm too big, or because I've been there. I've been in their position before, so I know that they're on the rise. And you never know. One day it may be a big fight. One of those guys coming up. They got
Xander Zayas at 154.
What's the bargain, bro? Emiliano, he's coming up. There's so many big fights that can materialize. Maybe I'll go up to 154. Okay. You never know.
If Haney moves to 154, he drags Shakur into deep waters. Shakur just fought at 140. Jumping 2 weight classes to fight a rejuvenated, fully hydrated Devin Haney is a nightmare scenario. This is the hidden weapon in Haney's arsenal. He's not just planning to outbox Shakur, he's planning to bully him. He wants to be the big brother in the ring, literally and physically. The days of the weight-drained Haney are gone. The version of Haney that Shakur has to face now is a completely different animal, and that size difference could be the deciding factor in the negotiations and the fight itself.
Do you think is a point where you could y'all could do the Floyd and Manny, yo, listen, we could get on the phone and iron it out. Let's get to it.
I told y'all I would be willing to do that, but that nigga got some type of hate for me or whatever he got going on to where it's we can't do the Errol Spencer and Terrence Crawford and sit and talk like men and negotiate and me and him is the biggest fight in the sport of boxing. I don't care what nobody say. Every black nigga on the planet
that's a fact.
Wants to
we want to see that.
Me versus Tank.
Yeah, fact.
So it's with him with his pride and his ego and shit, it's hard for him to even, want to get on the phone with me, want to reach out or put all that other shit to the side. That nigga just got too much ego, I guess.
But where did the beef come from? Because it's like, it seemed like he really don't like you.
Nah, he don't.
But why? Like, what did y'all do? Because y'all was cool at one point, right? We see videos of y'all as amateurs. Niggas was cool. Y'all knew each other. Like, where did it start that y'all don't like each other?
Nah, that shit started from him. Like, everybody really think like...
We are witnessing the start of the new era super fight. The Tank Davis chapter is closed, and the Shakur Stevenson chapter has officially begun. The talking is done. The insults have been traded. The lowball offers are ancient history. Both men are at the peak of their powers, undefeated and wealthy.
They extra, like,
right.
They extra this. It's like that shit just come to me. So it's like, clearly this is what God wants for me. So just keep doing what I'm doing, and the big fight's gonna keep happening. The everybody gonna want my spot. Yeah. Even watching what just happened, they like, oh, I think I could beat this guy. He not that strong. He not.
Yeah.
Okay, I could. Well, come try.
Yeah.
Come try.
You know who's the other big fight? We didn't mention Devin Haney.
Okay.
Devin Haney's probably, to me, I don't think it's hit its point yet, but I think in the next year or two it'll hit a point where it's like the world is gonna demand. You know what I'm saying? I can see the trajectory feels like it could meet like that.
I would love this fight. But look, you gotta watch what you say with like, and this is not even Devin fault, cause Devin is very respectful of my game and I'm respectful of his game. He's a good fighter. But his fans will clip and
Yeah.
twist and turn things into something that is not. So I try to be real careful on what I say.
True. This is guy Jay on Twitter. He a big Haney fan. He be always clipping and changing stuff, Jay.
Yeah, they gonna make a narrative as if like I'm scared of. I think Devin's a tremendous fighter. Do I think Devin Haney can beat me? Hell no. Hell no.
Yeah.
For me personally, I'm on a different level than everybody.
Yeah.
And when it comes down to boxing, because Devin, he's a boxer. It's not like he's a fucking stone cold killer who's just gonna go in there and try to knock me the fuck out.
Yeah.
He's gonna try to outbox me. I'm the greatest boxer. How do you... So that's how I feel about the fight.
Yeah.
But
Devin Haney has thrown the gauntlet down. He's made it clear that Shakur is the only mountain left to climb. Now the pressure is on the suits to make the numbers work. We are on the verge of the most technical, high-stakes chess match of the decade. The only question left isn't if they will fight, but who breaks first when the bell rings. Does the size of Haney crush the speed of Stevenson? We're about to find out. But what do you think of the possibility of this fight happening? Are we going to see Devin Haney versus Shakur Stevenson take to the ring in the foreseeable future? Also, who wins if this fight happens? Let me know in the comments. That's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section. Stay tuned, and we will catch you in the next video.